Well, hello and welcome to The Right Venue. I'm Anton Savage and this is The Apprentice, You're Fired. Tonight's task required our candidates to hang up their suits, get into their civvies and hang with the youths at a music festival. But it looks like the insects of Ireland wanted to make that as difficult as possible.
Sorry.
There's about half an hour left here at the venue this evening. Yeah. Go, you bastard.
For a second, I tried to bite the thing.
I'm quite a controlling person as well, and I don't think that I would have got my kind of ideas across.
Well, let's meet our panel of celebrity guests who hopefully will have no problem swatting away our apprentices' annoying habits. A woman who is expert in all things Apprentice and also expert in all things melodrama because she's just penned the Olympia panto with Jedward in it, Fiona Looney. And a man who knows a few things about the car industry, Merlin O'Reilly. And the person who was responsible for making our apprentices go to the music festivals, Ford's marketing director, Joanne Sheehan. And there was a car waiting for one candidate. Unfortunately, it wasn't a Ford, and the only place it was taking them was home.
Sarah, you signed off on a project that if it had been put in front of me, I'd have thrown it in the bin. And for those reasons, you're fired.
Okay. Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Sarah O'Neill. Sarah, you've just seen it. Well, what's your reaction?
Better than I thought it was going to be. I was worried about watching it, but I'm happier now than I thought it would be.
Even though you lost to a calendar with 11 months?
Yeah, well, yeah, we lost, you know, so, yeah.
And what was your experience of the whole process? What was The Apprentice like from your perspective?
My overwhelming kind of memory from it is definitely like just making such good friends and having such a good time and really enjoying the tasks and enjoying working on them and just good memories, basically.
Well, on the thing of the making the friends, it seemed like in the boardroom tonight that Najat and Michelle had sort of decided they were going to take you on.
They did, yeah, they did. There was definitely, we all kind of turned on each other. Like, in fairness, I did have a go at Najat, and she had a go at me, and Tara had a go at me, and Michelle had a go at me, and I had a go at Michelle. So definitely that happens. Like, it is a competition, and you have to, you know, you do have to defend yourself, you know. But, like, at the end of the day, I still, like, absolutely love Tara, I love Najat, and I think Michelle is deadly, so, yeah.
Watching it back, do you think Bill made the right call? Was it fair?
It's hard to say. I do still think that the reason, you know, we lost was the photographs were so poor. So I think at the end of the day, that wasn't Najat. However, I signed off the calendar with no logo, so that was me.
Well, the one who was instrumental in making that call was you, Joanne. Was it the quality of the photos or was it the absence of the Ford logo?
It had to be the absence of the Ford logo, really. Yeah, I think what didn't come across very well in the episode we watched earlier is there was actually a lot more creativity in that calendar than you got credit for, because what the guys did very cleverly was they tied the pictures that they had taken in with some really nice phrases that related to features of the car. That didn't really come across, but, you know, ultimately no Ford logo on it, no Fiesta logo. You know, you didn't flick through that calendar and think this is a calendar for the Ford Fiesta.
By the time it got to the boardroom, Fiona, was there anything Sarah could have done to rescue herself?
Oh, I don't think so. I think the logos was the key. It was funny, I was watching it and I was thinking, I wonder has Sarah ever seen The Apprentice? Because in 2.5 series, I've never heard anyone say, actually, there's too many of my logos on that. And, you know, it is the key thing. You have to get the logos there. You get them big. It comes up every single time.
Particularly, by the way, with Bill. Because Bill has the logo of his own company on his jacket in every single shot. When he gets naked, he hammers it onto his own chest.
True. That is actually true. He has a piercing of that Renault thing, and I can't tell you where. But no, I think that Sarah was very unfortunate that the girls ganged up on her, and I think that was unfair. You know, you could see watching the programme tonight, clearly Sarah had said, take a photograph of the bloody car, for God's sake, over and over again. And, you know, I think they lied about that, the other girls, when they went into the boardroom, to be honest. And, you know, to be honest, I was very disappointed with the three of them. I thought that they were very duplicitous, very quick to stab Sarah in the back. And from that point of view, certainly sympathy would lie with Sarah.
Marlon, your view?
Sarah did ask for photographs to be taken of the car. She didn't get the photographs. And I suppose it's someone else's fault in that case. You know?
Well, did they sort of rebel on you when they were down at it? Because they weren't being awful helpful whenever you were on the phone.
Najat had changed sides before she even left. Like, from the get-go, she was just, for some reason, she just had this kind of, you know, thing going on that she just was not going to go with anything that we said. Like, you know, she wanted different formats, and we'd agreed, we'd voted, we'd agreed what we wanted. Just, I don't know what her motivations were. Maybe it was like a strategy
when you say
thing.
she wouldn't go with anything that we said, it seemed that when Dave Cashman rang her, he got a softer response than when you were talking to her. She seemed to be very harsh in response to you.
It got worse, and like the communication issues were bad. Like there was noise at the festival. Like, oh, we'll give them that. There was, you know, they had background noise. They had issues to contend with as well. You know, and we were kind of standing in quite a crowded room and stuff. So there was definitely issues in terms of the actual sound of the phones and stuff like that. But then there was definitely, you know, Najat had just worked herself up into a bit of a frenzy, I think, to be honest. And
do you
it got
wish
worse.
you'd gone to the festival? Because I thought that was a huge mistake.
Yeah.
I mean, you didn't have to stay, but you should have gone and done a kind of a recce. And do you think that if you had your time over, you'd do that?
Absolutely. That's definitely one thing that was on my list. Yeah, definitely I would have. I mean, the two big things that I think where I fell down, and they're both my fault in fairness, is definitely not going to the festival, looking at the car, looking at what was going on around it, and then working our creative into that. And also then obviously the logo, you know, logos are paramount, and obviously they're the two things that if I could have a time machine, I'd go back and do them
Well,
differently.
on that note, let's have a look and remind ourselves where, for Sarah, it all went wrong.
Here is your task. To design and create a calendar for the new Ford Fiesta. Bear in mind this car is fun, stylish and energetic.
Not only do you have to convince Joanne, but with my passion for cars, you better impress me as well.
Obviously I'd love to PM this task, so I think I've got, you know, the experience that you need to make sure we get this one on the button and get it right and win.
I would strongly like to put myself forward for PM for this one.
Do you want to put it to a vote?
Well, yeah.
Okay, so Sarah wins by 4-2.
Okay, cool. All right, okay. Being ambitious can sometimes be a double-edged sword. We've no pictures with the car in these whole lot of photographs. There's not one.
Sorry, go on.
Paramount concern we have for the phone this morning is we have no picture of the car.
No, you see, that's the thing, like, where the actual car is, it's on a podium.
Okay, guys, but guys, this is something, honestly, this is something that we should have spoken about before you guys went.
There's frustration building here between the two sides, and that's probably Sarah's fault. She should have got the entire team here so they could understand the venue and then go and plot their pictures.
You want the next 6 shots with the car in it, yeah?
Yeah, 6 shots with the car. So I need you to work with us on this one.
Sarah?
No, Najat, I don't want to speak to everybody again. I just want to speak to one person on the team.
Yeah, just bear with me for a second, Sarah. We're here, okay? So you kind of have to trust what we're...
Najat,
Get.
I would love to have seen a photo of the car.
I think if this task goes wrong, that Sarah will pin it on us. I will absolutely execute her in the boardroom.
Sarah, we're not playing ball with you. The things you're asking us to do, we can't do. I'm not happy at all. As close to being pissed off as I could be. Did you actually hear that?
Oh, fuck's sake.
I definitely think in hindsight that it was the wrong decision to appoint Sarah as PM, and I just don't think the images will be strong enough.
It's not really up for debate, really.
Sarah?
Najat, I want to speak to one person per phone call, if that's okay.
It's just something I want to say, I understand. She is an anal control freak.
I don't really mind what the other girls say. I think that they're kind of digging their own graves. Good morning, I'm Sarah, and this is Elevate Marketing.
Nowhere in the calendar can I see a Ford Oval or can I see the word Fiesta mentioned.
So we had the Facebook address wrong, we didn't have Ford on it, we didn't have Fiesta on it. You have messed up so badly that you let an 11-month calendar beat you.
No, I shouldn't be going home today. I thought I was one of the stronger candidates. Maybe I'm wrong, but having said that, like, there are a lot of people that are still in this process that don't deserve to be there.
Sarah, your last sentence, there are people in that process who shouldn't be in it. Who are they?
Well, I suppose in that context, I was definitely talking about Najat. Definitely, I was, obviously so disappointed I'd gotten fired. I wanted it so badly. I was really enjoying it, and to go home is such a bitter blow. Like, it's awful when you hear those words. It's awful, and the boredom is so terrifying as it is.
And do you not rate Najat? You don't think she was doing a good job?
I think she's an incredible girl. Like, I think she was definitely one of my best friends in the house, which makes it all worth that, we just didn't see eye to eye on what needed to be done in that task. I didn't rate her on that task, no, and, she didn't rate me, so I think that's kind of,
And who else? Because you said it was people, plural.
If I had to say someone else.
You do?
It'd probably be Dave Cashman.
Dave Cashman? Why? Because we were told that he was doing an awful lot of strategy and planning rather than focused on the tasks. Is that it?
Like, he did a great job on the task I was on. Like, he did everything I'd asked. He delivered on what he was required to do. However, on the last task, when Bill produced the velvet curtain from the Burlington, those kind of things, I just thought weren't very professional. So maybe, Dave Cashman.
Joanne, just looking through this task so far, the way Najat reacted to Sarah, the way Michelle reacted to Sarah, does Sarah take the blame because of a failing in how she communicates with them, or do they take the blame because from early on they were trying to shaft?
Well, Bill clearly laid the blame at your door, but for me, communication is a two-way street, and it is about saying your piece, but it's also about listening. And you were the PM, and I think the girls were way out of line, and they were making things up as they went along, and I think they kind of lost the run of themselves. You guys had agreed a direction, even if you needed to change as you went through it, that wasn't the way to do it.
Yeah, but you got the sense about Fiona, I don't know what your view on this is, but you got the sense that, we heard Najat use the words, she's an anal control freak, was her description.
Yeah.
But Najat kept saying, give me that phone, more or less, I'll take her on and tell her who's boss.
Yeah, as in which one of them is the anal control freak, you decide. And by the way, well done on saying she's one of my best friends, because if one of my best friends called me that, I'd punch her, frankly. But Najat was extremely controlling, and I think Michelle, to go back to the start of the task, Michelle wanted to PM it, and I think she was disappointed that she wasn't PM. So I think in Michelle's mind, she was never going to respect you as a PM. She was kind of in her own head running it anyway. Tara, I think, was less kind of to blame. Certainly Michelle and Najat, they went their own way, they did their own thing. And, really, they kind of made a decision to try and sell a calendar to a car company that didn't have the car in it.
Was that a mistake on Sarah's
crazy.
part when the PM discussion came up? Because we saw Dave Cashman get hospital passed into being PM in a previous episode. As soon as Michelle put herself forward, should Sarah not have said, yeah, great, you PM?
Well, obviously, with the benefit of hindsight, I'm sure Sarah would do that now. But, there didn't seem to be a compelling argument in favour of one over the other. So it was, put down to a vote and all that, and that was fine. But I think Michelle ran, she was clearly disappointed, and she just ran with the idea, I am running this task. And the difficulty with communication was you split the team, one was in a place where genuinely it was quite hard to hear, but it's very hard to rope people back in when you can't actually see them, and I think that was a problem.
Sarah, when you went into the boardroom and when it became clear that the other team had an 11-month calendar, did you think, that's grand, we have this wrapped up?
Never at any point did I think that at all, and I think Bill, one of the last things he said to us before, we left the boardroom was, you thought you had it in the bag. And I have to say, we never thought we had it in the bag. It can go any way on that. Like, obviously, we thought,
even
the
when
team
you knew
haven't done...
They've ignored December.
And they had all the dates wrong. And they didn't have the Ford logo. And they'd used a 16-year-old. I thought there's a strong chance we might have gotten it. But you just literally, it is down to the wire. And there's nothing, you never have any kind of safety net in the boardroom. It is terrifying. It is absolutely, and you never, until Bill says you're the winner, you never make any assumptions. Never.
Well, we're joined this week, as we are every week, by Mairead Fleming, who is our recruitment expert from Brightwater. Mairead, it's almost like asking you to judge an autopsy rather than a task. An 11-month calendar with the dates wrong and only one Ford logo, or a calendar with no logos whatsoever. Take your pick.
What was meant to be a fun task, the results were pretty miserable, weren't they? However, I would have to go with the 11-month calendar. Sorry, Sarah. I guess the 11-month calendar, it had a lot of the key elements that were required by Bill and by yourself. It had the Ford logo. It had some very good, clear photos. But it also had all of the instructions on the back, and my understanding is that yours didn't have any of those. So if somebody was looking at the calendar, it had the call to action for Facebook, etc., which was really important in your brief So it's the 11-month calendar.
Thanks, Mary. I'm still slightly baffled by this, that it had all the